Hi and welcome. In this video you're going to learn all about how to use the Marquee tools and make what are fairly regular selections. My name's Ken Fisher and this is LiveLink Training. In this video we're going to be looking at making some basic selections with the Marquee Selection Tools. Now these tools are for making regular selections and shapes like squares, circles, ellipses, ellipses, I'm not sure which anyway. But the tools here is up here in the tool. You see underneath the move tool, and if we click and hold we'll see that we've got the rectangular marquee tool, the elliptical marquee tool, and then a single row and a single column. Keyboard shortcut for the rectangular and the elliptical marquee tools is M. So we'll start with the rectangular marquee tool. I'll go into my image, I'll pick a point, I'll click and I'll drag. Now you can see here that I can actually make a square, or if I keep my finger on the mouse button I can drag it out to make an oblong, or I can make it tall and thin. You'll also notice that the top and the left hand side of the marquee are fixed. It's the right hand side and the bottom that's moving. Okay, well that will be important in a sec, because if I want to change that point then I can do. So for instance, if I started in the wrong place, let's say here, and I click and drag, then that point's in the wrong place. I really want it in that intersection, but nothing I do can move that. But if I hold the space bar down I can now move the whole selection. So I can move it into that corner, let go, and then continue with my selection. And then when I get to where I've got to the right place, I let go and I actually make a selection. Ooh, okay, that jumped out a little bit. We'll try that again. So we click and drag, and there we go, we've made a selection. But now I can't go back and alter it, so you've got to make sure that you don't let go of that left mouse button. Okay, if I want to make a perfect square, then there's a keyboard shortcut to help us with that. So here we go, if I click and drag, you see I'm now making oblongs or rectangles. But if I hold the shift key down, that constrains it to a perfect square. So I can get that absolutely bang on, let go, I've made my selection. I'll just Control and D to deselect that. Now there's one more keyboard shortcut that I like, and what that allows me to do is to make the selection out from the center. So if you know exactly where the center is, which I do more or less on this one, so if I click and then hold down the Shift and the Alt keys, it will now let me drag out the selection from the center. Let go. There we go. Okay, I'll just deselect that. Okay, the next tool is the elliptical marquee tool. And this is more or less exactly the same as I've showed you for the rectangular marquee tool. We'll just use another image. So now if I click and drag, I can drag out ellipses, tall and thin, short and fat. If I hold the shift key down, it will constrain it to a perfect circle. And if I hold the space bar down, it allows me to move it around. So if I've started in the wrong place, I can actually move where the selection starts. Okay. So what happens if I wanted to select, say, the coffee in the top of this cup? Well, that is an ellipse shape. Okay. So I'll select the elliptical marquee tool and I'll click and drag out an initial selection. I'm keeping my finger on that mouse button though, I'm not letting go of that mouse button. Right, now as we said before, the top and the left hand side are locked. They're locked in position. So if I hold the space bar down and I'll just drag it up a little bit just to get that selection registered with the top of the cup. And then I'm going to let go of the space bar. And now I can stretch out the selection a little bit towards the right. and then I'm going to hold the space bar down and move the selection towards the left. Then I'm going to let go of the space bar and stretch out the selection towards the right. And then I'm going to hold the space bar down again, just move the selection up a little bit. Again, let go of the space bar and then stretch the selection down. And then I'm going to let go. And it's just a case of moving and stretching really with the space bar key. Okay, deselect that. And the final two tools in this section is the single row and the single column. And what this allows you to do is to select a 1 pixel width, either a row or a column. So the single row, if I click on there, I get a 1 pixel row of selection. And if I go for the single column, I get the same, but it's in a column. Okay, well that's about it for making basic selections with the marquee tools. Let's have a brief summary. So let's select one of the tools. We'll select the rectangular marquee tool. We'll just deselect that selection that we did before. So we click and drag to start out the selection. If we hold the shift key down, we can constrain the selection to a regular, either a square or a circle. If we hold the space bar down, we can actually move that selection round to reposition it. I really hope that was useful. If it was, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment below the video. If there's any specific topic that you'd like to know more about, please leave me a comment and I'll try my best to help with the video. Please, if you get a minute, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more videos on training on Photoshop and on Lightroom. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.